In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most compassionate. All praise is due to the one to whom all dignity. Peace and blessing of Allah be upon all the prophets and messengers and upon who follow them in the righteousness until the day of judgment. And today our topic is to speak about the Prophet Muhammad as a true messenger of God. And firstly, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him, is the final messenger of God, sent to guide all humanity to the truth. He was born in Mecca, and he called people to worship and God, Allah, and to live a life of truth and kindness. Through him, Allah revealed the Quran, which is the final guidance for mankind, and his life is perfect example for us to follow. And he sent with different miracles as the prophet of God. He sent with different miracles, including the Quran. The Quran is the greatest miracle. His greatest miracle is the Quran. The strongest proof of his prophethood is the Quran. With it, Allah challenged disbelievers of his missions. And in the Quran, chapter number 2, verse number 23, Allah the Exalted said, "If you were in doubt, then produce a chapter like it." And Allah challenged the disbelievers of the prophet's time. If they are in doubt in the Quran, then Allah challenged them to produce even one chapter. They can't produce even one chapter among the 114 chapters of the Quran. Even some verses of the Quran they can't produce. Why they can't produce? Because the Quran is unmatched in language, meaning, and structure. No one has ever reflected over it for over 1,400 years. Why? Question. Because the Quran itself contains knowledge, laws, and guidance beyond the human ability. So when we consider all these things, to think of this proof, my brother, come to think of it and judge yourself. And then the next point, which is prophecies that become truth. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, informed us about future events, and many more have already happened. From those that happened, people competing in tall of buildings, which is generally in the world today, it is something that people used to just compete over it. And then increase in killing and corruption, which is spread across the world, the entire world. Killing and corruption in every country today. Passing of time. So the Prophet Muhammad gave us a sign of the end of this world, and today have already happened, and they are visible today. Accurate prediction proved that he spoke from divine revelation, not imaginations. His message matched all the prophets. Islam teaches us that all the prophets brought the same message, which is worshipping one God only. Allah the Exalted himself said in the Quran, chapter number 21, verse number 25, "We never sent a messenger before you except that we revealed to him, there is no God but me, so worship me." So this indicated that the Prophet Muhammad's message is not new, but the continuation of the previous prophet. And another point of reason, the Prophet Muhammad was unlettered, meaning that a person who doesn't know how to read or write. Before prophecy, the Prophet Muhammad don't know how to read. Before the prophecies, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, don't know how to read or write something. Allah the Exalted in the Quran again tell us in chapter number 29, verse number 48, "You did not know how to read, or you did not know how to read, nor did you write it with your hand." So let us just consider all this rule. A person that uneducated man brought a perfect knowledge, like prove divine origin, not human inventions. And then the last point, which is his impact to the humanity. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, informed a society of ignorance into a civilization of knowledge. He established justice, honesty, and moral discipline. His followers spread all over the world today, and his teachings spread all over the world. Let us just take an example, the way people just used to go to Mecca and perform Hajj pilgrimage. Islam starts from one person, and look at the Islam today, how it grows, how the people just used to increase in Islam, and this proves that the Prophet Muhammad was a true prophet of God. And then finally, Allah the Exalted said, وَمَنْ يَبْتَغِي غَيْرَ الْإِسْلَامِ دِينًا فَلَمْ يُقْبَلَ مِنْهُ وَهُوَ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. And it means that, and whosoever desire other than Islam as a religion, never will it be accepted from him, and he in the hereafter will be among the losers. So please, my brother, come to judge this yourself. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a true prophet of God, considering the proof and all reasons that I have mentioned for you to understand, and the miracle that the Prophet Muhammad performed. And then finally, if you hear and convince you, so do not hesitate or turn back, because there is no true religion today in the sight of Allah except Islam. So make an effort to hold firmly to the true religion before its time runs out. Thank you for the listening, and I am praying for God to guide us to the true religion. Peace and the mercy of Allah be upon you. Thank you.